Right, welcome ladies and gentlemen. So, Snow White trailer dropped. People were loving it. Not really. But someone who didn't like it, which is quite unusual, to be honest. You know, Disney, left-wing, woke, etc., etc. Was The Guardian. Yeah. Notorious left-wing shit rank, The Guardian, did not like the Snow White trailer. This guy, Stuart Heritage, a guy who wrote an article, quote, "Wicked's green skin trigger warning may feel silly, but not as silly as those crying woke," didn't like the trailer. Yeah. You've got a real problem at that point. You got a real problem at that point. Oh my god. So we're going to take a look at this because this is heavily comical. So hit subscribe, ladies and gents, if you are new here. And if you are also a returning non-subscriber, I see you. I know. I can see from the analytics there's lots of people that keep coming back. Hit that subscribe button. But anyway, it's just hilarious. Title, Wish It Away. Will the live action Snow White be a new low for Disney? This is a left-leaning shit rag. A guy who doesn't think the trigger warning for Wicked is dumb. Unbelievable. So let's take a look, shall we? So it says it's a hauntingly bad new trailer for the studio's next live-action remake. Promises a nightmarish procession of CGI dwarves. Yeah, they are pretty disgusting, to be honest. Here are two things that recently happened in very quick succession. My older son opened his laptop and said, "Daddy, there's a new Snow White trailer." And then, less than 2 minutes after that, he shrieked, "Daddy, these dwarves are terrifying." Reader, it brings me no happiness to inform you that Disney has done it again. Several decades after shaping the animation industry as we know it with exquisite, characterful, cutting-edge, feature-length fairy tales that are still rightly regarded as classics, it has decided to squeeze out a hot, fat turd. This is The Guardian. This is The Guardian. A media entity that recently quit Twitter because it kept getting community noted on their left-leaning lies. I can't stress that enough. This is The Guardian. Shocking. As the years of counselling my son now requires will tell you, this is a trailer for Disney's new live-action Snow White movie, and it's beyond horrible. What's so horrible about it, you may ask? Well, there's the fact that after the 37 Snow White movie and the 61 Snow White movie and the 69 sex comedy The New Adventures of Snow White and the 87 Snow White and 97 Snow White and 2005's The Brothers Grimm and 2012's Mirror Mirror and 2012's Snow White and 2016's The Huntsman, plus all the assorted books, plays, operas, TV shows and video games based on Snow White, there isn't really all that much meat left on the bone. More pressingly though, there is the fact that this new Snow White is arguably the ugliest thing ever committed to screen. It treats the animals that Snow White finds in the woods with the same photorealistic CGI that was used in the most recent Lion King remake, which has the effect of transforming helpful woodland creatures into literal vermin. This is the fucking Guardian. And then there are the dwarves. My god, the dwarves. I mean, look, I agree with all this, but this is the Guardian. He thinks the trigger warning for Wicked's good. I try not to use the term nightmare fuel any more than I possibly can, but yeesh, the design of the new dwarves feels like something that would be deliberately shown to prisoners of war to break their spirit. It's hard to even describe them. I think I might be wrong that the film used modern computer animation tactics to render the dwarves from 37 film as lifelike as possible, but just because they could doesn't mean that they should have. The new Snow White dwarfs look like someone has snuck into Disneyland, grabbed the statues from Snow White's enchanted wish and wrapped them in human flesh, as a serial killer would, with a gift for their mother. This is The Guardian. They look like something a seaside caricaturist would draw of someone they openly hated. They look like animatronic figures that were struck by lightning and came to life before the fire was put out. They look like someone has shaved the Sonic the Hedgehog from the first Sonic the Hedgehog trailer that everyone hated. Most impressively of all, they achieved the feat of somehow looking extremely racist while not actually being racist at all. Nightmare fuel. What is the last bit about? We should be used to this by now. In its ongoing attempt to sully everything that anyone ever loves about it, Disney's ruined several classic animations of hideous CGI at this point. This is The Guardian. Tim Burton took Dumbo and turned it into an Athena poster as drawn by John Wayne Gacy. The Lion King made the animals so lifelike that they lost all facial expressions. The Little Mermaid took Sebastian the crab and transformed him into a literal real-life crab, which are not traditionally known for their reassuringly jaunty appearance. But Snow White represents a new low. Until now, the theory was that Disney was embarking on its campaign of live-action remakes as a way to extend copyright on its characters and stop them lapsing into the public domain. But having seen the new Snow White dwarves, I think something slightly more fiendish is going on. I now think that Disney's making these ugly films so that any time in the future, if anyone thinks of making a Snow White movie of their own, they'll automatically be haunted by visions of this film's bulbous, gruesome, hell-spawned dwarves and be so busy crying and vomiting that they'll immediately go off the idea. At this point, this is the only logical conclusion. If all were right in the world, then on the basis of this trailer, Snow White would be locked away forever, like the day the clown cried. As it is, it will leak out to cinemas next March and scar a generation of young kids the same way Return to Oz did for us. On the plus side though, I now have a new thing to threaten my son with. Clean your room, kid, or I'll make you watch the trailer again. Honestly, it's that bad. This is The Guardian. Again, just to reiterate, this guy's wrote stuff like this, right? Wicked's green skin trigger warning may feel silly, but not as silly as those crying woke. Okay. A little bit others. Pretentious Moi. Josh Brolin's poetry about Dune has landed, whether we like it or not. I mean, he's pretty like... His art... I mean... I'm looking at his articles and I'm like, well, I mean, he's pretty on it. You know, like as in, you know, Guardian-esque, isn't he? Yeah, I'm well shocked. I am super shocked. This is The Guardian. Why is Donald Trump so obsessed with Hannibal Lecter? The same guy who hates Snow White wrote that. And it's probably hideously biased as well. One would imagine. It's just ridiculous. I literally can't believe it. Everyone. Ladies and gents, I think we may have found what can unify the world, which can bring world peace in the West between left and right. Snow White trailer. It's the unifying force in the galaxy. It will bring peace to the masses. Leave your thoughts down below.